Felt good to be on the field, on the practice field. You know, after having a spring break, you're always kind of worried about how they're going to come back, and so forth. But really, I thought for most of the practice, our guys, they had great energy, attitude, and body language, and really moved around good. I think we got tired toward the end a little bit and got a little sloppy. But those are all good things. We were repping a lot of guys, too. When you're repping a lot of guys, you're going to have some of that. But really pleased with our attitude and how we approached practice today. Got a lot of improvements to do and a lot of things correct. But the exciting thing is when you look around, we got a lot of veteran guys, and now we're mixing in some new guys with it. And it's exciting to see all that come together. But really pleased with them. I mean, it was a fun day to be on the field. We got lucky with the weather, obviously. It was a little windy, though, for a quarterback, I would say. But we got lucky. It wasn't real hot, and really liked the way our guys approached it. I think, now the challenge is to come back in 2 days and do it again, and that's what we got to do. We got a lot of corrections we can make. The good thing about having an off day in between is we got a lot of time to do that. And if our guys will approach those off days right and rehydrate and take care of their bodies, we should be able to do that every other day and be okay. A little different. I think Coach last year said they went 4 days a week, and I like this 3-day a week in the spring. You can really slow down and really teach a lot. But overall, really pleased. To the naked eye, I need to watch the film obviously and see, but excited about what we showed today, and hopefully we can continue to improve each and every practice. Okay, questions.
Coach, what's been like the last couple of months since you got here? I know you've worked with Coach Malzahn before, so I'm guessing that was an easier transition. So what's that process been like, just kind of getting to know the players that you have?
Yeah, it's been good. I got here, I think, December the 28th, and this is my third time to work for Coach, so really kind of know what to expect, which is good. He's evolved some and changed some, though, I would say, just scheme-wise, a little bit here and there. As any good coach will do, he's adjusted to our personnel and to our players and what they're good at doing, and so that's been good. But very familiar with what we've done offensively, how we approach practice. Good thing is I had an idea what the practice structure was like, so that wasn't new. But it's been a great process. I've really tried to get to know our players, especially on offense. I'm probably not as good with the defensive guys right now, just being honest with you, recognizing them and so forth. Now, if they got their jersey on, I probably got a good shot at getting it right. But the offensive guys, trying to build a relationship with those guys, really important to me that these guys know me because, in the heat of battle, you're coaching, but when you walk off that line, and Coach says it all the time, you can put your arm around the guy and love on him because that's what we're here for, to develop these guys and develop relationships. But it's been good. I think tried to get to know them. We've had some off the field get-togethers. I think we went bowling one night through the Axe Handle, wherever that place was called. That was good. And being the quarterback coach and the coordinator, you always want to make sure you know the old linemen and everybody all the way around. And so I've tried to do a good job of that, and really like our guys.
The last time we spoke, you mentioned something that you offer is a fresh perspective about the quarterback room.
Yeah.
One day is just one day, but what did kind of impress you about the quarterbacks now that you got to see them firsthand?
Yeah, I think, right now we're rotating all 5 basically evenly, which is hard to do. We'll do that probably for a few days whenever Coach decides we're not going to do it anymore. But, I think what I saw is through the walkthroughs and the meetings that our guys really took what we were teaching onto the field. And that's what I like to see. Obviously physical mistakes we had, and then we got tired and we had a couple bad reads in here and there. But for the most part, we communicated right to the O-line, which is a huge part of it. We got the signal. We were able to understand where we should go with our eyes when the ball snapped in the passing game. And then read game, I know we missed a couple reads, but I really was pleased with how all 5 of them approached practice. I think they're trying to do what they're coached to do. Coach Malzahn always talks about coach me, coach attitude. We have that. That's not a problem. Everybody in that room, everybody on offense, to be honest with you, has that attitude, and that's so important. When you've been in different places like I have, that's not common everywhere. Guys don't want to be coached. They don't want to be held accountable. They don't want to be made to run off the field. They don't want to be made to wear their stuff the right way. And it's something I think Coach has always been big on, and our guys have bought into that. And you can tell we're in year 2, of the process instead of year 1.
You talked about working for Gus for the third time. Can you kind of expand on the thought of some of the things that have changed in those experiences, and how much did that relationship matter when it came to coming in here and working for UCF?
Yeah, I think just scheme-wise, there are some things that we dabbled with a little at Auburn that he's doing a lot more here now, and it's things that these guys were already good at doing in the pass game and the run game, and And so I've seen him and his comfort grow in those things, and they were really good at those things last year. When you look back at execution, you know, one thing you do as a coordinator is you're always doing a quality control. Hey, what were we good at? What were we not good at? And it's really simple. If we're not good at it, let's don't call it, or let's work at it, you know. And what I've noticed is from the 3 years I've been away from him is he's evolved a lot of those things, and doing a lot of things and that's the key of the, you know, to me, that's the sign of a really good coach. You're going to do what your players are good at. It's not one of these deals where you're going to force a square into a circle and so forth. But, you know, for me, working for him, I mean, he's obviously a mentor to me, so it was a no-brainer for me to get the opportunity to work with him again, and it timed up right in both of our careers, so to speak. And, you know, he's a great guy and a mentor to me and fun to learn from. So it's been good, and it's going to be a lot of fun, I think.
Chip, I asked Gus this yesterday about how analysts have kind of come in as the staffs and helped out and what they bring and provide.
Yep.
You yourself went through a period of being an analyst.
Yeah.
What was that like? Was it a difficult transition to kind of, you know, go from coach to analyst and then back to coach? And
Yeah.
what do you see an analyst role in helping you out?
Yeah, it was a huge transition. Back in 2013, and I'd been a high school head coach at that point 3 different times, and been in high school like 15 years. So I go from being in charge, running my own program, to I'm an off-the-field analyst, which you know the rules for that. They're not allowed to coach on the field. You're not really allowed to instruct players. You've got to be a support role. I was actually, I know I was in the first group, first analyst ever at Auburn with him. When he got the job, that was one of the things he did. He hired 6 of us. We were looking at this actually yesterday. All 6 guys that were in that room with me are all coaching Division I college football now, which is pretty neat, you know. So, you know, he's got a great track record of guys off the field getting opportunities on the field, and that's really important to him. I know he's always, you know, got that high school background, and he likes doing that, and he's mentoring guys. But I think the way college football has changed, those analyst roles have changed. For instance, when I was with him, I was kind of his right-hand guy, helping him break down games and game plan and all those things, and each analyst kind of had a different role, okay, all 6 of them, okay? Now here, we don't have 6, but each of them have a specific role, but I think the recruiting piece is more probably important now than it's ever been with the transfer portal and the opportunity to get, you know, to evaluate those guys, to evaluate junior college guys, evaluate high school guys. I think the analysts play a huge role in our recruiting, and they also all have other little duties, kind of whatever the head coach says, kind of duties, you know. But no, it's a great opportunity to break in. It's a great opportunity to learn from, you know, one of the best that's ever done it, and guys that have the ambition to be a college coach or whatever. It's a great way to get in the profession.
I know today was just the first practice,
Yep.
but your impressions of Mikey Keene, you stepped in as a starter this past season. What have you kind of, you know, learned about him, I guess, through this process?
Yeah, I'm very impressed with Mikey. I mean, all the guys, but Mikey, obviously, you know, he's played. You can tell he's played. He's very confident, very smart, really, really high football IQ. Does what he's coached to do. Doesn't try to do too much. Knows his strengths and his weaknesses, his limitations, and what he's really good at. And just an eager guy. All 5 of those guys, I will say this, they all are eager to learn. They're all in the building watching film, you know, texting me, asking me different things and so forth. But, you know, obviously Mikey has played the most here, and you can tell. I mean, he goes out there and he's confident, and the moment's not too big for him. You know, he's got a moxie about him that I really like. And he's competing, and that's what I like to see.
What did you see from John Rice Plumley? I know he spent a lot of time with baseball.
Yep.
Obviously, splitting time a little bit, but what did you see from him today? How is he learning?
Yeah, he showed a lot of really good flashes. The thing I noticed being on the field with him for the first time, you know, we recruited him when I was at Auburn, but wasn't on the field with him. I watched him practice a couple times. We know he's a great athlete, but I saw the ball really jump out of his hand some, which surprised. I mean, it was a pleasant surprise. When I say that, it means it had good velocity out of his hand. Obviously, you know, getting his body coordinated. You know, the guy played receiver for the last 18 months or something. Played, I guess, his freshman year, and then in the spring of the next year was a quarterback, and then he went to receiver. So, you know, going from running routes and catching it to throwing it and all the fundamentals that go with it, he's got some work to do. But what I really like is the way the ball comes out of his hand. Another guy that's intelligent and really eager to learn and wants to be really good, holds himself to a high standard, and you like to see that.
Welcome in, Coach. Just want to ask a quick question from your perspective. Last year, you know, Gus first came in, took a lot of inventory, brought in a lot of foundation that you're now coming into here with this season. from your perspective, how much easier is it coming in with that foundation already built?
Oh, yeah, it's night and day. I told Coach that during one of the breaks. You can tell it's year 2. Your guys already understand some of the little intricacies of the offense and where to align and how to line up and the fundamentals of finding the signal and doing all those things. That's hard when you first start. When I was a head coach, I had to do it from the start. I've been on the first starting of staff with him way back. It's really hard when you've never been on the field with them before. So you can tell it's year 2, and usually a lot of growth from year 1 to year 2. And I think that the key to that is our leadership. We have really good leadership on this team. I think they'll carry us a long ways and really hopefully take that next step. Is what we're looking for.
You mentioned the corrections.
Yep.
You have a day off, I guess.
Uh-huh.
What's something you might want to specifically work on Thursday that maybe didn't go as well before that?
Just off the naked eye, without watching the film, I would say, finish and practice better. I can't really speak on the scheme yet because I just need to watch the film. But I felt like we tailed off there the last half of the last Skelly period, and then the team period was hit and miss. So I think we got to challenge our guys to finish better, and I did after when I called them up, and they'll do it. They'll respond, and they want to be good. They want to be coached. They want to be held to a high standard and held accountable. So I think for me, just finish practice, and then the mistakes are going to happen. We're going to make mistakes. I mean, Ryan O'Keefe's going to make a mistake. He's played a bunch, right? Matt's going to make a mistake at center sometime, but that's stuff we can coach on film. The effort, the energy, the attitude, the body language. That's what we're coaching right now, and I think they'll respond right.
But the energy's good.
Yeah.
First day practice.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah, everybody's excited about first day, right? Can we do it on Thursday? That's the question. Now, much easier when there's a day off, right? But they're going to be sore. Hopefully they'll take care of their bodies, rehydrate, do all those things, and Thursday come out and attack it again. That's what we're looking for.
I know it hasn't been a lot of time, but is there anything different that you've noticed in Gus's style in this go-around early on here?
Yeah, you talking about like offensively?
Oh, yeah, just in general, his coaching style, something different than Waffle House for it to eat,
Yeah,
anything
he's
like
not
that.
a Waffle House guy anymore, I heard, so he corrected me on that. He's what he's been through the last couple months, it's definitely had an impact on him, I think, personally, Obviously, Christy's doing really good now, and all that, but I think he's enjoying what he's doing. Okay, and not that we didn't when I was with him at other places. But obviously I think he's refreshed, excited. I know one thing, he really likes our team. He really likes our players. Not to say he didn't other places, but I see a passion in him, and an energy, which he's always had that. But I think that's what's exciting. Some of our young guys probably don't realize they're lucky to have a guy like him as their head coach. I mean, he's been a really good coach for a long time, and he's excited. You can feel the energy in him. When he got up and spoke to the team, these guys will tell you this morning and going through this is what we're going to do. I mean, he was talking and getting fast, and he was out of breath. He was excited, and that's fun. And if I'm a player, that excites me that my coach is excited to coach me.
Coach, back here.
Yep.
Talk about the veteran offensive line. You have a lot of guys coming
Yeah.
back, a lot of guys who have played a lot of college football. Talk about the offensive line as from your perspective.
Yeah, I mean, just, obviously having 3 starters returning. Matt, I believe, can be one of the best centers in the country. I've been very impressed with Lakai, and also, I just think that unit, obviously with Coach Hand, he's been with them now a year. You add Lakai, Sam, and Matt. I mean, those are 3 guys you can build the front line. Then you've got some other guys like Adrian and Paul, and then we brought in a couple of new guys. I think that group has potential to be really special. We're not there. We're not even close yet. But what I see is a group that's already close. They like being coached. They like to practice. They're fun guys. They got great personalities. They're tough guys. Everything right there, I think, is in the making for a really special group. But we got to put the work in and go do it every day. All right. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right.